Welcome to episode 17 of Biznct TV. I have another special guest. I have Gabe, a living legend.
All right.
Biznct TV.
How's it going?
Pretty good. I'm so happy that I was able to get Gabe on. It's so difficult pulling away from his but I was able to. So I was able to bring him in and let him drop some knowledge on you. So So Gabe, tell the people at home a little bit about yourself and what you do.
All right. So my name's Gabe the Coder. I'm CEO of a company mainly called Geeky Interactive and CTO of a company called Geeky Media. That's kind of our sort of holding company for the different apps that we own. But Geeky Interactive is mainly, we mainly do web development right now, so it's a lot of React, full stack JavaScript, really just kind of interactive web design and web development. So that's mainly what I do. I have a couple other side projects, but I'm not going to get into that right now.
Oh, so that's like non-disclosed type deal.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
So you see what happened there, where it's like got that high tech confidential stuff, so can't tell you.
Yeah.
But Gabe, I remember speaking on previous person that was on the show, Taylor. You're also in a similar industry. Coders, I find, are so unique in the way they operate, the way they piece things together, and it just starts working. You're like an engineer, a constructor in its own sense, but in a digital realm. Tell the people about some of the process it took you to get into the sphere that you're currently in.
Yeah, so from a technical point of view, I've always kind of been into engineering to some extent. I've been just building stuff out of boxes and stuff when I was a kid. But that kind of transitioned into video production early on, and then I did some VFX, and then I got into coding, basic HTML and JavaScript. I don't even think you could really call that programming.
Man, that's the kind of stuff I know barely, but
yeah. And then so from there, basically, in high school, I got this scholarship from Apple because I was one of the first kids on this new language that they released, and I got to learn that language from maybe the engineers who created that language, and there was maybe 3,000 people worldwide that knew that language at the time. So
that's crazy.
I kind of got my start there, and then
So you're kind of you're an OG in the game.
OG Swift. That's what they call me. OG Swift.
OG Swift?
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. So you were able to get in there, before it was oversaturated.
Yeah, and actually after that, I went ahead and built a course on Swift, and I got a good amount of students within the first couple weeks of that language being out. So,
do you still have some of these students reach out?
Yeah, I mean, it's I still get some support stuff from it, but the main thing is that language has sort of grown so much and it's changed so much. So, I feel another course is definitely in order. Right? Yeah, for sure.
So we know you started out here in Ocala, and then you transitioned. Tell us about making that shift and some of the things you went through in order to get things ramped up.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, it was a grind. I mean, there was a year I think I made $2,000 that entire year, right? $2,000 the entire year. But it's basically just a matter of staying in the game and staying persistent long enough to be successful. And I think like one of the things that I had that was really hard in the beginning was like I basically just had to bank enough capital in order to travel to places like Silicon Valley, Seattle, even Colorado, and build my network up out there, get connected with startups, that sort of thing. And that really, I just kind of grew my network that way. And ever since, I've been working with, pretty big names, Apple, Google, Microsoft,
Nice.
the whole list of things I could say to flex on everybody.
Right. And a lot of people want to think that people just wake up, or some people have an illusion that people just wake up and they're successful. Yep. But when you say that you made $2,000 in an entire year, like that's like below poverty. Like you really had to have something deep inside yourself in order to keep going and push through that barrier and break through.
Yep, for sure.
And you 10x.
Yeah, more than 10x. But,
50x, who knows? But what can you tell the people at home about what things they could do to kind of, in those trying times when they're building up their business and they're seeing things are not moving along as fast, what inspiration you could drop on them to give them some motivation to keep pushing forward?
Yeah, I mean, well, the first thing I guess is motivation isn't really if you need like as Elon Musk says, I think if you need the motivation, you probably shouldn't do it, right? But I mean, I'd say that you just have to detach from sort of the emotions and the scarcity and just kind of jump in and do the work, because I think that if you're watching this, like you probably know exactly what you need to do in order to be successful, but you're just not taking action. So you just need to jump in with both feet and like do the work.
Right. And you see coders, like people be going to work with suits and fancy ties. Man, this man Gabe can show up in pajamas and kill what he needs to do. Like that's most coders. I have 4 of these exact shirts, and I just switch between them every day because I don't want to add that decision to my life. It's decision fatigue, right? Yeah, that sounds like there's another famous person that does it. Like I think Mark Zuckerberg has the same shirt.
Yeah, he does, I think.
And these people, like he said, he has multiple of the same type of shirt, so he's not wearing the same shirt every day.
Change it up. Yeah. It's one's like a V-neck, so maybe you'll notice that.
Right. So, is having a routine or something that you think is good to have, or do you think it's best to, just operate off of pure passion sometimes? What do you think?
Like, that's interesting that you say that, because I go back and forth, like I kind of like sometimes I'll get into a routine and like I'll do that for like a month. Mm-hmm. But sometimes like I just feel like I'm so in the zone that I'll just roll with it,
Right.
So yeah, that's interesting, but I don't really have an opinion, but whatever works for the individual, I guess.
Me myself, like I bounce back and forth between the routine and this. Sometimes you just gotta just do it.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the big difference you've seen going to some of these bigger cities and rubbing elbows with some
Yeah.
other creatives?
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest difference is just like the available market for whatever you do. Like, you know, I started with, you know, iOS and Android apps. And there really isn't a market for that here. Like, no offense, like I love Ocala and everything, but you know, if you want to actually, if you want to actually get into that, like, you're gonna have to go to, you know, Silicon Valley, Seattle, at least right now, right? Like, I know that it's like tech as a industry is kind of really growing. It's always been growing, but yeah, I feel like that it's just kind of the available volume of capital invested in that is going to be a lot bigger in those cities. But generally, I find that, you know, the business community here is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I think the CEP was like number one. It was one of the top, I think.
Yeah,
you know?
awesome.
So
like, and they're really out to, you know, make sure you succeed. You know, and it's good building relationships. Where could you tell the people at home they could find you on social media, and, you know, if they want to work with you, collab?
You know, I'm not really a social media beast like this guy over here, but if you want to get in touch, you can go to geekyinteractive.com for kind of the full service web and mobile stuff. Or if you're interested in sort of the private equity stuff, you can go to geeky.media.
Nice. And, you know, everybody, where you can find me at BIZNCT, or if you want to work on some various projects, whether it's digital marketing, video production, we're a full service internet marketing agency. You can find us at www.biznct.com. Till next time, take care.